Well, a very good morning to you. So yes, I'm aware I'm in a car and that isn't really what my channel is all about. However, so I'm in the car, I'm heading over to Bedford railway station to pick up Purple. So, albeit there is a lot of bad weather about, the plan is to explore some of the old Bedford to Hitchin line, and the main focus for that will be Old Warden Tunnel. So, let's hope this rain starts to die off. Otherwise, you know, may have to get some alternative arrangements, but at the moment the plan stands. So I'm going to take the half-hour drive there. So I will see you when I'm with Purple. And welcome once again to Down the Line. So, of course, back with Purple, and we're now parked up. The rain has died down ever so slightly, so it makes it a bit better, but we've now got a public footpath. So for those who moaned last time, shut up. So yeah, we're going to walk along, get some views of the countryside as well before we head on into Old Warden Tunnel. Now, the top of it has turned into a bit of a nature reserve, so we'll try and have a little look, see if there's any old relics. There should be a couple, but nonetheless, let's jump out the car and get on our feet. Let's go. Right, so minus the wind, in the distance, you can make out the tree line of the railway line, which we have just followed along the road. And in the distance down there is the Cardington hangars. History dates back to World War II. There's also a station there, which was just down the line from here. But that is on private property, so absolute no-go. But I'm hoping that with weather permitting and other bits and bobs, there is another station up the line that we can maybe go and see. But weirdly enough, there's quite a few people here, so that's a first while doing one of these. But we're quite impressed so far, mate. I know. Who are you? School trip, maybe. So, massive clue here. Purple's off doing a bit of filming, but yeah, this Cardington tunnel was constructed to take the London, Midland and Southern Railway's main line from Bedford to Hitchin. Now, if you remember when I was at Hitchin a few months ago, I touched on this tunnel, and it was opened in 1857. The line was closed in 1963. However, a few of you will remember this, depends on how old you are, but there was a film called Those Magnificent Men in Their Flying Machines. Well, that scene where he's on the roof of the train was filmed just here. So it's got a bit of celebrity about it, I guess. It's obviously in film history, but it's now been turned into a wildlife reserve by the Wildlife Trust. So it's got a varied history, of course, and as well, if you remember when we was at Findon, when we went to Calais Banks, you know, that area there had also been turned into a nature reserve. So it's nice to see that it's been used for, you know, animals and just to help them with their homes. You've got animals such as a tawny owl. Massive fan of owls, I have to say, but you get it all here. So let's dive in. Just coming down some steps, and if that doesn't scream obvious old railway, then that certainly is, and Purple is definitely impressed. So I think I've called a good plan here, but no, that's what we're here for, and a bit more as well. So it's the old Bedford to Hitchin line. Feels weird. Imagine what this was like back when it was running. There must be a few people here that remember what it was like, so if there is, pop a comment. So there we are, Old Warden Tunnel. So we're not alone for the first time. There's some people I think on a school trip, so adds to the fun, doesn't it? So there's my man Purple headed in, so looks like I'm going to follow suit. In we go. Right then, this is the inside of the tunnel. So, got Purple doing some PurpleVision there. And look at that. Woohoo! So yeah, this is the tunnel. Obviously, the top is soot filled. And as we go out and around, you can see all the old stonework. This is bloody brilliant. And also, this is obviously all bricked up, but these would have been where workers would have stood.
Just jump out the way of the...
When passing trains, yeah, when passing trains would have come through. Bloody brilliant. And obviously, as you can hear in the background, we've got some drum and bass. As I said, there's a school trip giving us a bit of an instrumental as we walk through the tunnel.
It sounds good, doesn't it?
It does, it adds to it, that bass. Woohoo! Something a bit different for down the line in PurpleVision. So, we are in. This is quite good. I think we're not even halfway. There's a, as you put it, pardon the pun, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And there's another one behind us. So obviously behind me is the Bedford end and we're heading towards the Hitchin end of the tunnel. It's a bit cold in here as well, but again, like I said, we've got that instrumental going. Love it. So yeah, this is what we came here for. Old Warden tunnel. It's nice to be in here for the first time. So yeah, as I said, I'm a worker, passing train. In we go, and let the train go by. No danger. Well, unless you stand in the way, of course. But that would be stupid.
That music's got really quiet.
I mean, we're quite a distance from them now, but like Purple was saying earlier, as railway tunnels go, especially in, you know, such a disused state, it's fairly intact. I mean, there's a couple of little bits on the floor like that, but you expect that with aging and a bit of decay. But nonetheless, I mean, we've walked quite a distance, and that light at the end of the tunnel seems no bigger.
No.
And to be fair, there's the end there. So it's put in perspective, it feels like quite a walk, but it doesn't actually look like we've walked quite far. Oh, someone's had a game of hangman. My guess is railway. No, too short. Trains. That's what will fit there. Trains. Trains.
Absolutely.
Let's have it. So Purple, I just want to mention, you just spoke about the white substance, is that what I can call it, on the ceiling? What is that? You said...
It's stalagmites. It's where it's like calcium residue left over. So when it comes seeping out the walls, it kind of leaves like a white crust, and that kind of leaves little bits sticking down, like you see with icicles hanging, but then they're white, so it's made up of calcium. But it doesn't seem that bad in here. There was a couple of spots back there. But when you go to Oxenden Tunnel, the whole thing just looks like white and fully decayed. It's very strange and bizarre. I'll have to send you over a photo, Steve.
Could that be with there being two open ends to allow ventilation, maybe, or...?
Well, no, because it's part of the Brampton Valley Way, Oxenden. So there's both ends are open. It's just, I think the difference between here and Oxenden is that there was a few water springs just above the tunnel.
I see. You gotta love being with Purple. He's a wealth of knowledge, that man. He really is. Where would I be?
Useless information.
But it's all worthwhile. So, with our lights, it illuminates it quite well. However, if we get rid of the lights, this is what it turns into. Minus my phone light, of course, but that, you can't even make out. All you can see is my breath, and no, I am not smoking. That's brilliant. And back up we go. As Purple said, this is Victorian engineering at its finest. And you know, the one phrase that always gets linked to the Victorians, especially with the railways, it was built to last. Rather than this modern crap, which after sort of 20, 30 years will probably be redone, remodelled and everything else. But this, you know, they'd be proud of projects like this to be stood here. and it keeps those memories alive. As I said, this is the point of, you know, disused and dismantled railways. It's the memories, the fond memories that people that actually lived them, and that's why we're here. It's because of them. So we've made it to the other end, and it is very, very boggy down this end. So we're gonna, I mean, obviously we've made it to the end of the tunnel, but we are going to have a walk back down and then have a look at the old trap bed just a little bit further towards Cardington, and then we'll walk back up the stairs on top of the tunnel and then head down, I think it's towards Southall Station. It's a bit of a walk, so we'll see what we can do on that. But then on the drive here, I will say this now, me and Purple had a little bit of an idea to extend the video, so we'll let you know when it comes round to that. So back down the other end, so we'll see you on the outside. Now you can see me properly and we're out. I'm going to say a little bit more about this tunnel. So the length of this is actually 807 metres, obviously both ways. We've just done over 1,600 metres as a whole. Now there are no sort of air shafts at the top that you would normally expect on a tunnel. That is because of its relative short length compared to others. So it allows for good air passage anyway, and also it is made from blue engineering brick, which you saw in there. Obviously there's a mixture of different colours in there, which was quite fascinating to see nonetheless. But the tunnel actually in fact is dead straight, and as you noticed, the further on we got, the wetter it got. That is because of the gradient that it was built at to allow drainage. So that made a lot of sense as to why the Hitchin end of the tunnel is very boggy and wet. So you can just imagine on a probably in your summer, is it going to be like that? Probably, to be honest, with all the moisture that is still coming through the ceiling, like Purple touched on with all the stalagmites with all the calcium. Yeah, potato. You know what I mean? So yeah, like I said, we're gonna pop on, and I'll turn around, and we're gonna head down there. Of the stations in between Bedford and Hitchin, there was Cardington, South Hill, Shefford, Henlow Camp, and then obviously terminating at Hitchin. So the way that we're walking currently is on our way to the next stop, which would be Cardington. As I said earlier, that is a complete no-go. But on the other side, which I'm hoping we can try and reach the old site of South Hill Station, because I believe from what I've seen and heard, the old station building is still in existence, so that'd be good to have a little nosy if we can. But yeah, this is interesting. So the line obviously comes this way.
Yeah, it's been backfilled.
Yeah, as Purple said, it's been backfilled. So
what's on the other side?
Yeah, it's the thing. It's modern alterations, and it'd be nice if you can continue on that way. But up a little hill and away we go. So before we head back round to where the car is and over back towards the start, so on the other side of where we just walked up that little hill, there is a gasworks owned by National Grid. So that's what's disrupted that route. But if you come just a little bit over this way, which I will now do, there is the continuation of the line. Now, a tree line like that is a dead giveaway, and it leads all the way down to the next stop of Cardington, where you can see the hangars just beyond there. So, and obviously of course into Bedford, and that's the line done. Just makes you think though, doesn't it? What was this like before obviously all these modern changes, of course? But I'm impressed, and I think Purple is too.
I'm well impressed.
There you go. We've got a worn out Purple here, but we're back at the car. So we're going to take the short drive rather than long walk to South Hill Station, or try and get as much of it as we can, and then from there we will then work our way back towards Bedford. So there's plenty more to see, so don't go anywhere. So just making the short drive, bit of a country road, but that's what you expect in these certain parts. So we will see you at South Hill Station. Oh, what we can find of it, of course.
Yeah, and it's me filming, not him. He's driving. Before you all start.
My hands are on the wheel. Look. So here we are then, South Hill Station. The massive giveaway is there. However, I'm not going past this point purely because it's private land now, so no public right of way. So you don't want to be breaking any rules, even though we're having fun. Yes, you know, it would be nice to go over there, but all the same, that's the thing. It's somebody's house, so you don't really want to be trespassing. Like, you know, yes, we're just here for rallies, not anything thing, but that's not a justified reason to breach, if that makes sense. So nonetheless, this is the site of South Hill Station. So then, yeah, as I said, we're gonna now jump back in the car, head back down towards Cardington Way. We had a look at the map, and without breaching their perimeters either, I think there's a certain part we can get where we can maybe see their old station, maybe, but nonetheless we're going to do that. And then the one that Purples did suggest is more of a given, is that we will then be stopping off at Bedford St John's, the original site of it, where that connects to this line as well. So let's carry on from there. But yeah, welcome to South Hill, short but brief. Back in the car. So we was just about to drive off towards a railway bridge just up ahead, but then I spotted just on the right as I drove off. Now, there's an old platform hut up there, and it's not little either. That is quite big. Oh, imagine having that in your garden. There's some lucky people that live there, that's for dead cert.
That's cool, isn't it?
Yeah, that's brilliant, that is brilliant. And oh,
well, let's hope they see the video and invite us along.
Yeah, it makes me want to go in there, but we can't. So I said, if you are watching and you live there,
please,
let us know. Just consent, anything, please.
Just have a look. Absolutely.
But that's brilliant.
Oh, mega.
Onto the bridge then.
Yeah, because we noticed that there's a low bridge sign down here. So
mind the van.
We'll go and have a quick look, I think. Bob.
Oh, it's huge.
It's massive, isn't it?
There's the embankment.
Yeah, he's got the embankment there. So then that looks like it's going straight over the road, which means there should be a railway bridge just there. Look at that.
There's an old bridge.
Beautiful.
Let's pull in here a little second.
Oh, wow, yeah. Absolutely love
That's
it.
a proper railway bridge.
That is, isn't it? I mean, just like the tunnel as well. You see where it's got the repairs done by the lighter, creamy coloured brick. Wow.
No, that is cool.
I like that.
Just goes to show there's always more if you keep looking.
Yeah, I know. It's awesome, isn't it?
Well, Southall, you have been a bit of a surprise.
There you go. Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Exactly that.
So we're just going back up into Bedford now. So thought we'll have a look at the station. Now it's on our side. Yeah, look at that. That's a beautiful little hut there, isn't it? Anyway, right, Cardington.
Okay, so now, Station House, Cardington. So connect the dots, and what have you got over the other side? A railway station, although that again is a private residence. So we're not going to breach that bit. But if I turn around, you can just see some chimneys. So just along there is a line of railway cottages, which will run parallel to the line. Now what we're going to have a look at, there's a side bit here. Now there's no signs saying keep out, but we're going to have a little venture and just, you could call it pushing our luck a little bit, but nonetheless we're going to have a little look and see what views we can get. Like I said, we're not going to go any over fences or anything like that. Just going to see what views we can get in that sunshine, which is glaring at me. So let's go and have a look. So obviously, like I said, fencing, we are not crossing it, but look at that station. That's brilliant. Of course, private property now, but that is mega. Again, like I said back at South Hill, to live there, oh, you can imagine what would maybe like old relics would have been in there if you know was moving in there first of all when it was after it had closed. That's brilliant to see. It just encapsulates it all and makes it a bit more whole. Oh, it's brilliant. So that was short and fun, and we could just peek through and you could just see there was a gap with the platform edges. So there's a bit of modernisation with an extension done to it, but still, I mean, if it's your house, do what you want. But that's brilliant. So, but if you like old platform edges, then we are now going to head on to the original Bedford St John's. So just bear with us. Let me drive over there, not like a madman, of course. And we'll go back to Bedford. Right then, so we're out of the countryside and back in Bedford, and now we are at pretty much at the starting point of our line. And we are I'm stood in the middle of the original Bedford St John's station. Now, don't be confused with the one that they've got now, because that was moved. But as you can see, there's platform edge there amongst the trees. You've got original platform lighting, and on this side as well, look, it's all there as well. And there are a couple of sort of metally bits sticking out of the ground just beyond, and Purple was telling me that's where the old canopy was, where they used to cover, we used to be here as well with the canopy. I believe he mentioned there was 3 lines, 2 on either side and then a run through in the middle. I think it was for freight purposes. But this is, so I'm just going to turn the camera actually, because as you can see there, then you've got the old lighting. And in the middle we have Bedford St John's. Now that's bloody brilliant. So I'm going to get a couple of panoramics for you guys, and then we will round it off. After a very long but enjoyable afternoon, that is, well, Old Warden / South Hill to Bedford St John's, the original one, all done. So that's predominantly the majority of the Bedford and Hitchin line all done. So we have briefly discussed going back towards South Hill and doing the rest towards Hitchin at some point. So that is now on the to-do list. But mate,
this is the southern end of it. Eastern end? No, western end.
Yes.
Yeah, we're at the western end here, so yeah. I think next time we'll go east and we'll do part 2. Oh,
it's certain, but I mean, thank you for showing me this, because this has rounded it right off.
Well, thank you for showing me that tunnel, mate.
Oh mate.
I think we've served each other well on this.
We have. And to be fair, it's quite weird because it started off raining, as I said right in the intro, and look, we've got a nice sunset, bit of blue in the sky, so the day has panned out tremendously well for us. But no, so we're ending at the original Bedford St John's, which is fantastic. So thank you again for watching this. Like I said, you guys will make it its own. And thank you again to the legend of Purple. Always go check out PurpleVision, Purple's Railways Adventures. You will not be disappointed, as I'm sure you never are. But yeah, we will be back again at some point. But that's the end.
Mega, mate.
I know.
Thank you.
Oh, mate, always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Mega.
So I'm now going to go and hit back in the car, drop Purple off at Bedford Station before he makes his way to his lovely home of Wellingborough, and that station, which I do actually miss. Oh, it was fantastic, that one. Might have to come back over there as well, you know.
Don't forget what we missed to be here today. The 2 beautiful steam trains going through Bletchley.
Yep.
But dismantled railways, they overrule over that lot.
Well said. But nonetheless, I'm sure they'll be out and about again at some point. So they're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere. So, but no. Once again, thank you very much, and we will see you next time down the line.
Hoorah!